it is my great honor to welcome Niti Pall, President of IDF Europe, for her opening remarks. IDF Europe is co-hosting this event with us today. Niti, I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. Welcome to Docday.
Hi, good morning, Bastian, and good morning to all of you that are joining us today. I think it's being live streamed. Lots of people around the world are watching us. So big welcome to you from the International Diabetes Federation for Europe. And Bastian and I sit on the board of that organization together. I'm the chair, and I have a personal story to tell. My son developed diabetes when he was 3 years old. He's now 30 years old. So we as a family have lived with type 1 diabetes for over 27 years. And I hope, Javier, you're watching today. And as Bastian has said, if it hadn't been for the discovery of insulin, there's a lot of us that would be very sad people today. So we thank Banting and Best for their discovery and for the 100 years. But what now? And that's what we've been grappling with. So what does the next 100 years bring? And what are we going to see over the next 100 years? So we at IDF Europe have been looking for those innovations, those technologies, and that engagement with people with diabetes, because that's actually where the action happens. So I'm deeply grateful to Bastian and dedoc for hosting this day together with us and to reaching out to all of you that do so much for diabetes across the world. And for me, this is a personal, heartfelt thank you and deep gratitude to our member associations across Europe that do so much. We represent over 70 member associations across Europe, both professional and patient organizations, and we work together to better the lot, I think, of people with diabetes. So I'm just going to pay homage to all of you who do that work, and just share with you a few things that have been happening around the world on World Diabetes Day and the centenary of insulin, particularly in Europe. So this is just to say thank you to you. These are the things that we have found you've sent back to us. And I'm sure, and please don't be offended if I leave anybody out, because these are the people that have reached out to us and told us what they are doing. So in Bulgaria, on June 29th, you released an interview with Soren Jacobsen, the ambassador of the Kingdom of Denmark to Bulgaria, and Professor Tankova, on the history of 100 years of insulin. And that's available on Bulgarian TV. In Estonia, the Estonian Diabetes Association did a charity 5-run walk in the sports park in Tartu. In Finland, you celebrated World Diabetes Day during the week of the 8th to the 14th. They're holding a series of webinars on the themes Where Did My Diabetes Nurse Go? On the healthcare debt accumulated during COVID-19 and the effort to replace the vacancies of diabetes nurses. On the 100th years of insulin, they're celebrating with a celebratory lecture by the Diabetes Research Foundation on the 14th of November. In France, we've got webinars and Facebook live streams on the 100 years of insulin from November the 10th to the 23rd, all available on their website. And they've got 100 years of insulin's web series, testimonials for people living with diabetes. In Germany, Diabetes DE on July the 24th ran an event on the 100 years of insulin in Berlin and digitally, and the recordings are available for you. On World Diabetes Day, they're looking at the Patient Information Day for people living with diabetes, relatives, and people at risk of type 2. In Greece, we've had a World Diabetes Day webinar on prevention of people living with diabetes in COVID times. The Hellenic Diabetes Association is also running a webinar on adolescents and diabetes. In Italy, ANIAD are running a marathon, and they're also looking at a webinar and promoting diabetes awareness while traveling around the country on a camper. In Luxembourg, they have a run and an event, a run and walk event, and a participation in diabetes screening campaign. In Malta, we are seeing 100 years of insulin and World Diabetes Day webinar on access to diabetes care. In Norway, there's TV3 is broadcasting the program Beat Diabetes, the Fight for Life. In Poland, whereas a webinar, or if not now, when? In Portugal, they've been organizing a series of seminars from science to society. In Romania, a series of webinars from 8th till the 13th. In Slovenia, World Diabetes Day, a series of initiatives on hanging of blue rings, lighting up 2 buildings. and also webinars that Sloda has been writing. In Spain, we've got in the city of Castellón with a campaign on awareness raising and prevention for the general population. In Sweden, there's a panel discussion on 100 years of insulin and what's next. In Switzerland, a virtual quiz about the history of insulin. In Turkey, 100 years of insulin, drawing about the centenary of insulin as an initiative for children. And they've been developing several fact sheets on diabetes, such as diabetes and travel, insulin, diabetes, and children. So you can see across Europe, we've had a lot of activity. We've been running webinars ourselves as well with lots of other member associations. I've just come off a webinar with our Eastern European countries, where most of the Eastern European countries are represented today, and they are also talking about 100 years of insulin and a scientific seminar. So you can see in Europe, we're very active across Europe, but it isn't because of IDF Europe alone. This is because of our member association. So I thank you again, all our member associations, for all you do and facilitate that interaction between people with diabetes and healthcare professionals and professional associations. We continue to advocate across the world. We're about to release a blueprint on action for diabetes in the EU. I hope you guys will read it and attend our webinars as well. So congratulations on being here today, and congratulations, Bastian, for running this day so efficiently, and for all of you for attending it. We at IDF Europe thank you for your involvement, your support, and your campaigning. Thank you again.